Atlantic City, New Jersey is one of the most iconic shore locations in the country. Most known for its nightlife, casino, and resort culture, AC is a very popular destination during the summer. So it was no surprise that in 2009, NJ Transit, New Jersey's commuter rail service, began the operation of the Atlantic City Express service, a 3-hour weekend-only service that ran directly from Newark Penn Station to Atlantic City, with just one stop in between. It was New Jersey's best idea to revive the Atlantic City casino market. The ACES idea was first brought up in 2006. It came as a direct result of the success of New Jersey Transit's Atlantic City commuter line, which ran from Philadelphia 30th Street to Atlantic City with intermediate stops. The Atlantic City line saw its first taste of success in 1989 when Amtrak operated its Atlantic City Express service from New York, Philadelphia, and Washington. However, poor marketing and high fares hurt ridership numbers, causing Amtrak to fold their service by 1995. Initially, many worries arose that the NJ Transit service would also cease, as Amtrak had been covering many of the costs to help maintain tracks. NJ Transit opted to continue their sole South Jersey commuter line and eventually decided to maintain operation of the line following an increase in ridership. A large reason of this was the shuttle service provided between the Atlantic City Rail Terminal and the city's casinos, increasing the ridership. New Jersey Transit intended for the service to run as a 3-year trial, covering only 2 stops, New York Penn and Atlantic City. Newark Penn Station in New Jersey would later be included during the planning stages. The ACES fleet, which came in late causing a delay in the start of the service, comprised of just 4 bi-level commuter cars, an ALP-44 electric locomotive, and a GE P40 DC diesel locomotive, all dressed in ACES and NJ Transit logos. The passenger cars were made specifically for the ACES service, containing lounges and first class, and so were never used for regular passenger service. In 2009, the service, funded by the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority of New Jersey and 3 Atlantic City-based casinos in Caesars, Harrah's, and the Borgata, began. The service ran from Friday to Sunday only. The train would pick up passengers at New York Penn Station before continuing to its only intermediate stop, Newark Penn Station, and then continue non-stop through to Atlantic City. Leaving Penn Station, trains would be pushed by an ALP-44 electric locomotive, while the GE P40 DC would be dormant at the front. The ALP-44 would power the train all the way down Amtrak's Northeast Corridor Railroad until Frankford Junction in North Philadelphia. At the junction, the train would reverse direction, and the ALP-44 would now be dormant at the front of the train, while the GE P40 DC diesel engine would push it from the back through to the Atlantic City Rail Terminal on New Jersey Transit's Atlantic City line. The northbound trip would be the same way, with the P40 DC pulling the train to Frankford Junction in Philadelphia, before the ALP-44 pulled the train up the Northeast Corridor and back to New York Penn Station. The service continued for 2 years, with tickets ranging from a $29 low for coach one-way to a $300 fee for the rental of one of the lounges available on the train. In January of 2011, the service was suspended until May due to low ridership and a $6 million loss in the first year of operations. The ACES came back on May 13, 2011, and operated through the 2011 summer before ceasing operations on September 18, 2011. New Jersey Transit formally discontinued the route on March 9, 2012. The ACES passenger cars were converted to regular New Jersey Transit cars by Bombardier through 2014, before returning to NJ Transit service by late 2014. The locomotives were transferred to provide service from the Raritan Valley line into New York Penn Station. All in all, ACES was not a bad idea. Atlantic City needed to attract the cash-paying customers and restart its monopoly on East Coast gambling. It would open up and expand the customer base to reach more people from New York who may not have owned a car to get to Atlantic City. ACE's big problem was its execution. For starters, it didn't have its own tracks. The train would travel down Northeast Corridor to Philadelphia, and most East Coast commuters know that the Northeast Corridor is a rail line from hell, especially at the time that ACES was around. Amtrak would always take priority on that line, and then NJ Transit's regular service, then ACES, which meant that any delays, hiccups, or problems would often send ACES to the back of the line in order to let high-priority trains pass. On top of that, the fact that ACES needed two different engines for two different rail types was a high point for delays. That meant that there was a twice as high chance for something to malfunction in the engines, leaving the trains stranded somewhere along the 3-hour journey. There you go, a brief history on New Jersey Transit's somewhat failed Atlantic City Express service. If you'd like to see more NJ Transit content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment new ideas for any videos that you'd like to see below. Thank you for watching.